ਇੱਕ ਵਰਚੁਅਲ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਆਗੂ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਰੂਸ ਦੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਉਤੇ ਹਮਲੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਲੱਭਣ ਦੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਉਪਾਵਾਂ ਦੀ ਚਰਚਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਯੂਕਰੇਨੀ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਰਥੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਨ ਅਤੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਤੋਂ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਸਮੂਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰਕਿਰਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਚਾਰੂ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਯੋਜਨਾ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਆਗੂ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਯੂਕਰੇਨੀ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਵੀ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਰਹੇ।
We are witnessing the war in Ukraine and the horrible toll of that war. Images continue to be published out of Ukraine depicting the gruesome impact of this war and the terrible loss. In all of this, it reminds us all of the important role that Canada can play in stepping up to provide help. We know the Ukrainians are seeking refuge and solace. Their families are trying to find safety. Canada can play a role in making sure people can come to safety, that we can support Ukrainians. And so first and foremost, we're calling for a national plan, a plan to work with provinces and territories to make it as easy and as simple as possible for people that are leaving this horrible crisis to get to Canada safely, to be able to be welcomed in Canada. And so we're calling for that. In that call, we also want to acknowledge that there are vulnerable people, particularly vulnerable people in Ukraine, that they also have to be acknowledged. And so we need to make sure that there's a clear plan to recognize the vulnerable communities that are unable to leave or that are having trouble leaving. That's racialized people in Ukraine as well as the LGBTQ community. And secondly, we're going to continue to apply pressure for increased sanctions. We've heard there are another rounds of sanctions announced by Prime Minister today. We welcome that. We need to continue to apply as much pressure as possible on Putin where it counts the most, and that's his wealth. And that's by targeting his closely allied and associated oligarchs and targeting them, seizing and freezing their accounts. That's a meaningful way for us to apply pressure on Putin to stop this war. We saw some of the incredible stories and imagery out of neighboring countries in Germany, where people had signs saying, "We can take you in our homes. We have space for a mom and two children." That's the type of spirit that we're seeing around the world. And that's the type of spirit that exists here in Canada. People here in Canada want to welcome Ukrainians. We need to have a plan to do that. We need to have barrier-free travel. We need to make it as easy as possible. And we have with us Bodana, who will share her story, the feeling and the impact on Ukrainian Canadians, the fear and the worry that they have, and the willingness they have to step up and provide support, and the willingness that's shared with all Canadians to be able to step up and support.